Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Joe Brick Academy of Self-Defense Learning. I am your instructor, Joseph Joe Brick Brick. I am a former, hey, you know in the movies when the cops are running by and someone's handing the guns and they're all yelling, "Go, go, go"? That was me. I used to do that. In the process of this class, you're going to learn various techniques and skills in order to protect your body and person from assailants. These are all situations that have actually happened to me, or someone I know, or could possibly happen, I guess.
Now, are these situations going to be applicable to a woman living alone in an urban setting?
Well, I'm going to answer that question with a hypothetical life-or-death scenario. You're walking down a dark alley. It is night. You spot movement to your left. Could it be a hobo or otherwise benign street person? No! It is, in fact, a vicious mugger who wants your jewelry or baubles. What do you do? What do you do?
I call for help.
I disable him with a punch to the groin or the temple, and then I run.
Very good, but what if he is a midget?
A knee to the groin or temple?
That's awful. You can't punch a midget.
That's why we're kicking them.
I just don't see a midget robber as a likely situation. Shouldn't we be learning about crimes that would actually happen?
Why? Just because they're midgets, they can't commit violent crimes? Just because they're short doesn't mean they can't be sociopaths, like average height people.
I didn't mean it.
Kathy is right. Kathy is right. That was a trick question. The midgets are peaceful people. The mugger is actually a robot in disguise and thus feels no pain from your feeble human fists or kicks. Now he is taking your money in order to regenerate his robotic chassis.
Who said anything about a robot?
That is precisely what I propose to you here. Any attacker could be a current or former android. Thus, the proper precautions are key. Now, short of some kind of robo-scan technology, I, as a self-defense expert, recommend covering yourself head to toe in tinfoil. This will disperse his sensory beams, rendering you nearly invisible to robots.
I've never heard of a robot mugger before.
Don't be ignorant. A friend of mine got attacked by a bunch of androids and got her engagement ring stolen. To this day, she won't go to Harlem. Because of all the robots.
Slightly racist, what is right. But the nightmare does not end there. Let's say that instead of robotic powers, this mugger carries a simple switchblade knife. A far better situation, you say. But no! What you do not realize is that this particular brand of scum has a burlap sack full of vampire bats over his shoulder. He releases the vampire bats into your face, and they suck your blood until death. Now you have lost your blood and your monies, but most importantly, you've lost your sense of security in your neighborhood.
Are we talking about vampire bats?
It's going to be a big yes to you there, Haley. You see, your bat assailants are going to seek out your easily graspable scalp using their sonar. So what you're going to want to do is to take off your shirt to confuse the attacking hordes. And then you're going to scream at a high-pitched voice in order to confuse the sonar, like so. So you take the shirt off, you're like, "Oh, the bats are right here." And then it's like, "Ah!" And that's it, you're done.
Wow, vampire bats.
It is more likely than you would think.
I'm sure, because I find them to be not likely at all.
Mr. Joseph Joe Brick, are there any other scenarios that we as city-dwelling independent women might face?
Let me paint you a picture for a moment with my imagination brush. You're walking down a dark and deserted alley. It is night, when all of a sudden you are surrounded by a group of Bolivian tree people. Now, not only do the tree people have a greater knowledge of the alley and surrounding vegetation, but they have blowguns with poison-tipped darts. They view you as intruders into their holy land and fear both your white skin and your primetime sitcoms. What do you do?
My cousin got jumped by a bunch of Bolivian tree people. She took a picture of them with her digital camera in an attempt to steal their soul.
Very good. The problem there is that your cousin confused her tree people attackers with the Aborigines. A common, but all too often fatal mistake. What I recommend is taking your cellular or mobile telephone and using it to predict an upcoming solar eclipse, passing yourself off as the sun god Behemocoidal. This will cause them to either flee in terror or sacrifice a virgin in your name. Either of these is acceptable. I prefer the latter.
This is New York City. Why would there be
New York is a melting pot of a city, a place where people of all creeds and cultures may come together to live in harmony, or as the case may be, rob each other.
Okay, I've had enough. That is by far the strangest thing you've said all night. Are we done? Because you couldn't possibly come up with a situation stupider than right now. You know what? I just...
Walk with me for a moment down imagination lane. You are coming back from a friendly gathering among colleagues or friends, or maybe a Pilates class. You look to your right, and what do you see but an angry triceratops that wants your money to buy PCP? What do you do?
Disarm the triceratops by elbowing him in the nose.
Very good, but I want you to remember the triceratops is not one, not two, but separate and distinct protrusions that could gore you in a moment's notice.
No, just stop. Neither people nor alleys coexisted with dinosaurs. It defies the timeline of history.
Kathy, good job. It's excellent thinking.
Thank you.
The nature of the time travel must be considered when dealing with a criminal triceratops. Now, keeping in mind not to step on any amoebas or small plants so as to indicate the so-called butterfly effect, thus affecting past, present, or future situations, I would call for your pterodactyl friend in order to assist you. He will swoop in from the skies and the clouds and defeat the triceratops in one swift motion.
I don't really understand. Can you demonstrate for the class?
Of course. Kathy, could you come to the front, please?
Fine.
Okay, now in this situation and presentation, Kathy is the triceratops, and I am Kathy. Okay, so you will call for your pterodactyl friend. Here! In that demonstration, my hand was the pterodactyl.
This is ridiculous. I am not going to stay in a class where all I do is get hit in the head and learn about defending myself in situations that could never possibly happen. I'm leaving.
Oh. I should... She's my ride. I'm gonna go too.
Tina, are you two going to leave and desert me?
Never. I think every woman should know how to defend herself in these increasingly dangerous times. It's all over the news. Every walk down the street is like a brush with death. There's no end to the roving gangs of 18th century literary figures, machete-wielding mermaids. I think this class is invaluable.
Thank you very much, Tina. That makes me feel warm, both here and here.
Mr. Joseph, no, Rick! Something horrible has happened.
What is the issue or concern?
On the way back to the car, Kathy was attacked by a band of Bolivian tree robots riding triceratopses. There are vampire bats everywhere.
Was it in an alley?
No, it was in the parking garage.
We have now graduated to the intermediate class of the Joseph Joe Brick School of Self-Defense Learning. Grab a gun and follow me. Go, go, go!